Hello my friends, welcome to Authentic Living with Linda. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways to be your most important asset. Are you struggling to believe you are your most important asset? When you're feeling less than your best, it can be very difficult to know that you are worthy of being loved, especially by yourself. Often when we're feeling like we are not loved, we go looking in all the wrong places to find that love. We expect somebody else to fill that gap. We turn to food, we turn to spending money, we turn to working. There's a lot of ways that we try to get that love that we want filled by other things. Learning to love yourself is really important for making yourself your most important asset. And when I speak about loving yourself, I'm speaking about the feeling on the inside of you that says, I'm okay. It says, I'm an okay person. I'm all right. That I can accept the negative foibles of my life and I can accept the positives. I am an okay person right where I am right now. That's what I mean when I say about loving yourself. If you don't feel this way, I have 5 little tips on how you can begin to make a shift in your thinking and feeling about yourself. I believe that all emotions, feelings, and sensations are working for our good. Even the bad ones, even the sad ones and the depressed ones and all the emotions on both sides of the scale. So on the what we call negative side and on what we call the positive side, all emotions are working for us and they're really important. They have a story to tell and they're trying to keep us safe. However, most of us are not trained to listen to our body, our emotions, or our feelings. And sometimes we listen too much and we give them too much power. And we don't move past what our feelings are telling us. Balance and harmony is where the center line to happiness lies. If you're trapped on the merry-go-round of ignoring your emotions, you're ignoring your feelings and ignoring the sensations in your body, to open that door feels really scary. It feels like you're going to be swallowed alive and that you'll never come back from the overwhelming sadness, heaviness, shame, grief, whatever your emotion is that you're trying to run away from. I know what it feels like to be on that precipice of wanting to open the door but being so scared to because you're afraid that you'll never come back from those emotions. I want to encourage you to do these 5 activities every day, and they're really easy and they make a huge difference to how you feel about yourself, especially if you do them twice a day. They will feel weird and you will feel embarrassed and you will feel silly. They're all emotions that I had when I started to do this activity. I felt like I was being watched. I felt like I was just being, I felt like I was, being silly. Like I was embarrassed to talk to myself about myself. I want you to let those feelings be there and know that they're completely normal and that they won't harm you. They will feel foreign and uncomfortable. Number 1 is to stand in front of the mirror. Look yourself in the eye and smile. So you're standing in front of the mirror, you're looking yourself in the eye and you smile. That's step number 1. Notice what you're thinking. What are you thinking as you read these words or you hear these words? And then what are you thinking as you stand in front of yourself looking at your reflection? Just notice what you are thinking. Nod at yourself in the mirror and say, I hear you. For every thought that comes up, just say, I hear you. And continue to do that for every negative thought that your brain will give you for looking yourself in the eye and smiling. So don't argue with yourself. Don't agree with yourself. Just state, I hear you. I hear you. So every time you have a thought, you're saying to yourself while you're looking in the eye, yourself in the eye, I hear you. Still looking yourself in the eyes, whisper audibly, I love you. Then again, listen to the thoughts that come up and go back and repeat step number 2, where you nod at yourself in the mirror, I hear you. So for every time you say I love you, all the things that your brain thinks about that version of you that you're telling that you love will come up. I want you to just say, I hear you. And then step number 5 is to blow yourself a cheeky little kiss as you leave the mirror behind you. And then walk out. Feeling a little bit light, a little bit silly, a little bit less embarrassed, but knowing that you have told yourself today that you love you. Do this every morning, do this every day, preferably morning and night. And I can guarantee you will feel a difference. This is how I began to build my self-trust and to realize that I was the most important asset I have in my life. Especially once you get past the embarrassment of looking at yourself in the eyes and talking to yourself, you'll find that this becomes so much easier. It is really important not to engage in any form of mental conversation with yourself around the thoughts that come up for you. Always just nod and say, I hear you, and then move on to the next thought. You are your most important asset, and this simple process is letting your emotions, your feelings, and your body know that this is how you see yourself now. You don't have to believe yourself, you just have to do it. If you want more guidance on how to build your self-esteem, to see yourself as your most important asset, email me on authenticlivingwithlinda@gmail.com to book a 15-minute introductory coaching call. Today's inspirational droplet is, your eyes are the windows of your soul. Talk to your soul. And I'll see you tomorrow.